Mark Dice, great to have you on with us.
Hey, thanks. It's a big day. It's Defriend Day today on Facebook. The day when we clean up our friends list and delete the strangers and scumbags. We can get into some of the details about that and the other Orwellian aspects of Facebook. But, you know, I've been making the comparisons. Everybody, this audience has been drawing comparisons, seeing the comparisons between what we are experiencing in our world and Orwell's book. So I've compiled about 300 pages of them, and it's very, very scary what's going to be coming around the corner here. Just in a few months and in a few years. I mean, we have everything we've been talking about now and cited in trade journals or maybe just things that are being implemented or working on patents, patent applications. All of this stuff is coming to a fruition, to the Orwellian nightmare. And if we don't all come together and wake up and stand up and come together and educate ourselves, our communities, get over the fear, we're going to live in the Orwellian nightmare.
That's right. We should be afraid of doing nothing. Go back to 1997 when I got arrested protesting the thumb scanners, and I predicted they're going to be in grocery stores. They're going to be at the gym. They're going to be to get your school lunch because I'd read the government documents. Now it's becoming ubiquitous. It's everywhere. The face scanning cameras, the license plate reading cameras, the control grid is going into place right now. But just like we're starting to defeat the TSA, and just as even the mainstream media is decrying what they're doing, if we make these other Orwellian issues important as well, we can start turning the tide against it. We don't have a choice, and hence your manifesto, Big Brother, the Orwellian nightmare come true, Mark. I salute you on this book. Your other 3 books are excellent. This blows them away.
You know, this is not a conspiracy theory. There's no conspiracy theories in the book. I'm sorry if I'm just talking about patents and trade journals where they're saying that they're already testing cameras in Holland, and they're ready to implement them in London for the Olympics in 2012, where they listen to the streets. And if you yell at someone or if the cameras detect that your voice is angry, the pitch, the volume, the tempo.
That's already been put in England.
Yeah, they're already testing. This is already coming out. So we don't have much time before we're living in the Orwellian nightmare. And it's very creepy. The social structure, the control of information, the perpetual state of war, the personification of the party, the telescreens, the snitch culture, the degraded and corrupted social relationships.
There's a global revolution against every canon of freedom. Telescreens going in 9,000 locations, saying spy on your neighbors. Forbes comes out today and admits docs reveal TSA plan to body scan pedestrians, train passengers. They're already doing it. It's all happening.
Listen, there's a case in India of a woman that was convicted of murder because a machine read her mind and said that she had experiential knowledge of the murder scene. So there's technology coming out that is already out, I guess. They're just unrolling newer and more advanced versions that supposedly reads your mind and can allegedly determine whether you have seen or heard something. So these machines have already convicted people of murder in foreign countries, and it's coming here. The Orwellian nightmare is going to come true if we do not all stand up, wake up, come together, stop being afraid, expose the false flag terrorism, and come together and restore the republic.
Well, Mark, let's walk through your book and the different chapters and why this is such an important tome.
Well, let's start off with Facebook Defriend Day. There's a whole section in the book about Facebook. And again, much of this audience may be familiar with this. So this is for the masses. This is for the people that aren't aware of these issues, or maybe the people that are just starting to care about what's going on. And so we're announcing Facebook Defriend Day. Just time to step back and think about the social implications of Facebook. People, there are police that are going on Facebook pages and arresting students for underage drinking using the photos that they've posted as the evidence. So just imagine the police are going on Facebook pages, finding photos of students, and then tracking them down and arresting them for underage drinking. This is Big Brother. This is what we're trying to fight. So Facebook Defriend Day, there's an article on Infowars.com that kind of details some of the Orwellian aspects of Facebook, not to mention just the social implications of the narcissism and the self-absorption that these websites, these supposed social networking sites have created. But let's take another look at some of the creepy aspects that Facebook has
Before we do that, let me just add, it's like Google. You think you're going to the Oracle to get information, but it's actually tracking what you're thinking, what you're doing, where you're going to eat, what movies you're watching. It's building a detailed psychological breakdown on you. The same thing's happening with Facebook, and you've got the founder of it calling his users idiots, saying that they trust him, that they're morons.
Yeah, and there's new facial recognition software that's out that's going to identify everybody in every photo that's posted on Facebook, on the internet. There were apps that were created. I think they've been pulled from the app stores now, from Android and iPhone. There's apps that are created where you can take a photo of some random stranger, and using facial recognition software, it will search Facebook, MySpace, the internet, and find that person. That's creepy. That's the Orwellian nightmare. That's what we're going to have to start learning about. What are these social implications here? And what are we going to do? Are we going to live in a kind of world like this? And the way that they're rolling it out is through the fear of false flag terrorism, through dumbing us down, eroding the culture, painting foreign countries as enemies. Everybody in Iran must be an enemy. There's so many parallels between 1984 and our world here. Just listen to what Orwell wrote in 1949. He says, quote, "With all their cleverness, they had never mastered the secret of finding out what another human being was thinking." Well, Orwell was right on a lot of stuff, but he didn't think about the mind-reading machines now that
the most dangerous time was when you were asleep, when you might, give yourself up, in a word.
Yeah, he talks about, listen to this. I mean, the consciousness of being at war and therefore in danger makes the handing over of all power to a small caste seem natural, unavoidable condition of survival. I mean, this is prophetic, nearly. I mean, here we have, just let me go through another couple shocking quotes that I've pulled out of this book, and they fit right in with what's going on in our society today. We have, quote, "In the past, no government had the power to keep its citizens under constant surveillance. The invention of print, however, made it easier to manipulate public opinion, and the film and radio carried the process further." We have become a culture of corrupt morons, but there's a glimmer of hope, Alex. I see the V for Victory campaign. I see everybody getting out there and educating people about these issues, poster campaigns, educational outreaches, and so I see the glimmer of hope here. And if we can just continue to educate people, get the word out, we can come together and...
Well, resistance, you're saying it. If we stand up, if we speak out, if we rebuke all this tyranny, it will fail. But if we decide it's a foregone conclusion that we're going to go into this tyranny, we're going to lose. Resistance is victory.
A false manufactured sense. This seems to be an organic Orwellian implementation of this technology, but it's been pulled and prodded behind the scenes from the Rockefeller Foundation, who actually recruited the head of the Identix, the #1 facial recognition software company. It was recruited in 1991. This guy Joseph Attic by the Rockefeller University, and he was funded by DARPA to create the facial recognition systems. And we've been talking about these. They're coming. Facial recognition systems have actually been tested 10 years ago in the Super Bowl.
And this is going to be used to buy and sell. It's going to be your new ID. The government, the social engineers admit this. And then if you're not a good globalist, it doesn't matter what you have to pay for your food with or your house. You're just shut down. And that's what Homeland Security has said. You're going to have TSA approval to own a gun, to have a job. This is total control.
It's total control. And let's look at the snitch culture. Everybody's being turned into a paranoid person, that there's terrorists around every corner. The "if you see something, say something" campaign from Walmart. It's becoming so unbelievably absurd.
Blatant.
It's time to start standing up, to speak truth to power. And if it's so hard sometimes to articulate some of these issues to people when you're new to this or when you're trying to introduce somebody to this kind of information. And so the YouTube videos, the books, these are the ways to eloquently and powerfully communicate these complex ideas in a pretty simple way.
Well, the new book, and we're going to walk through it and show the modern-day parallels that even surpass Orwell's nightmare vision. It's Big Brother, the Orwellian Nightmare Come True by Mark Dice.